Recap, 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 recap. How there's he's coming out of my mouth, spit and skid right into my microphone, into the mic of Mike, as my fellow YouTubers like to call it. Gosh, you know, a night like tonight, when the wild card rule was in effect as always, as it's been over the past stinking month, whatever stupid idiot Vince thought of that wild card rule has really been causing a lot of damage to SmackDown. Because I honestly thought the first hour of SmackDown tonight was all right. The second hour, not that the second hour was terrible, but to me it felt pointless. It felt pointless because it just felt like nothing but like it was before the brand split came back. A recap show with segments that didn't need to happen again because they happened last night on Raw, even though once again, even though the feuds involved a SmackDown and a Raw superstar, but the SmackDown superstar is barely on his own show. He showed up on Raw left and right like they're doing it. And it pisses me off. And you know what happens whenever you piss me off? You know what happens when you become a pointless show that I don't feel like watching at times? SmackDown Live, I'm sorry, not SmackDown Live, SmackDown recap shows you just made the list! Oh, and also, you know that little spit that came out of my mouth and fell into my microphone before? So my spit, you just made the list. Also, one more thing. Since I'm getting these alerts that Google Hangouts on Air is apparently going away later this year, will Google Hangouts on Air because you're probably going to affect my live stream? You just made the list. Should have put that one on sooner because the past several weeks they've been giving me trouble anyways. But of course, now I got to figure out what I'm going to do about live stream once they go away. But guys, what is going on? This is the Club of Demand 1993. I am coming at you live for my live review of SmackDown Live from the June 18th, 2019 edition that took place in Ontario, California. Not Ontario, Quebec, Canada. Ontario, Canada, Ontario, California. The go-home edition of SmackDown Live for Stomping Grounds taking place this Sunday at the Tacoma Dome in Tacoma, Washington, which, you know, honestly, ticket sales are looking so bad. And once again, WWE is resorting to desperate tactics to try to get people to come to this show. It's not looking good. Like, it's looking like just a bunch of rematches, of course, from Super Showdown. Of course, we'll talk about that when I do my live preview and predictions for Stomping Grounds tomorrow. Probably sometime tomorrow afternoon. I'd say early afternoon, late morning. We'll see what happens. But as far as tonight's edition of SmackDown. So last night, we actually had a better, not great, like decent to solid edition of Raw. There was some stuff I enjoyed, and some, of course, I was nitpicking at. This show, though, the first hour was actually all right. The second hour just made, well, not that this stuff, the material given the second hour was bad. You know, the people involved in it did the best they could. It just felt pointless. Absolutely pointless. And why? Wild card rule. So tonight, let me see here. Who do we all get as a wild card tonight? Actually, let's pull up a list right here. of like a shortened edition of the results that I could find, of course, on Smarkout Moment. Besides Cage Site, since Cage I use Cage Site seats to read off for notes for the reviews. But let's go to Cage Side seats. We got. Let me see here for wild cards. We've got I guess maybe somewhat count Baron Corbin since he he was interviewing people for the job, especially as referee. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, you want or count as a team, say that they're two. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Oh, and The Miz. Even if you count, Alexa Bliss and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross as a tag team, they were still there. That counts as 5. And that counts Sami Zayn. 5 or 6 wild cards. Once again, I thought the wild card rule was only 4. Vince, just end the damn brand split if you're going to keep, getting more and more and more wild cards on your shows. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. Should've been going, I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. This felt like a recap show. That last hour especially felt like nothing but recap show material. It was pointless. Yes, it was cool seeing Seth Rollins show up on SmackDown Live. And you know what? It kind of made sense because Baron Corbin was there interviewing people for the special guest referee. I don't like the stipulation for this at all because it feels to be pointless and it's stupid to see get people to watch a match that nobody, in my opinion, that nobody is absolutely gonna care about. But other than that, again, like even the match he was involved in, what was the point of it? What in God's name was the point of it? What was the point of that elimination tag team match where you can eliminate each individual person on the team? It made no sense. It made absolutely no sense at all. I get they're starting to maybe heat up the third match with Shane and Miz, which I really think should be an Extreme Rules match, but they could have waited another week. Like, I was fine with what they did last night on Raw. We'll get to that, of course, when we get to that. First, let's check the live chat, see what we got here first before rant about that hour. Let's see here. Tyler's not watching Stomping Grounds. That's fine, man. Vince is killing WWE. Oh yeah, it's going down with him. Sammy and Kevin are now stupid jobbers, as they feel like for sure because they're having some random match with Big E and Xavier Woods on Sunday. I don't know why. Oh yeah, he goes on a rant about the wild card rule and Triple H. Yes, in the words of John Cena, get over your ego. Super Ground's gonna be trash. Paul's a wild card. You can kind of count Heyman as a wild card since he would appear on the show. This is XFL. Brock's gonna cash in on Kofi this Sunday. God. And either way, no matter what happens to that briefcase, I'm not gonna be happy. Let's talk about the show. We open up with the New Day coming out. Welcome to the show. Woods says that everyone knows that on Sunday, Kofi will defend the title against Ziggler in a steel cage at Stomping Grounds, but only if Dolph makes it through Woods tonight. And Big E says he's deemed for the second hour of SmackDown to be Freaky Hour, which it was Freaky Hour, right? Because it was pretty pointless. Out came Dolph Ziggler. And he's typically, running down, what he's been saying, how, just trying to get in. Again, the slight appreciation I have for this story is the fact that I can kind of see what they're trying to do here. Have Dolph Ziggler play these mind games with the New Day. And even though, he provoked Xavier Woods at Super Showdown, it still, kind of, looks like, he's trying to make, it look like Kofi can't beat him without the help of the New Day, which I kind of get it, but I still don't find it like that spectacular. And I said this also, I actually tweeted this on Twitter. Dolph Ziggler's new theme music, and I want to give the theme music could have been me by the Struts, basically. Could have been me, or It should have been me. I should have been me, basically, instead of could have been me. It was one of the theme musics used for NXT Takeover London, in case you don't know what I'm talking about. But they cut this promo, and I don't know though. I thought that there was something a bit off about this promo. Like the flow, I mean, the content said in it, okay. But I felt it was going back and forth. Like, oh, Sunday, this is happening. Thursday, this is happening. Sunday, this is happening. This week's happening. This week's happening. It was going back and forth to make the match on Sunday, his match tonight with Xavier Woods. Match on Sunday, his match tonight. Going back and forth, I felt like. And then, and then Kofi Kingston said something like, mentioned how, which I like this, saying, how, yeah, he's not afraid of a steel cage because this whole journey from getting to WrestleMania began inside a bigger steel cage with the Elimination Chamber, which, was true. But then, once again, this is going back and forth, again, one week they're talking about, the match on Sunday. Then they're talking about, the Dolphin Woods match tonight. They're just going back and forth with this. And then even after, Kobe mentions that, Dolph kind of says the same thing on the lines of you won't be able to handle the steel cage. Well, again, it just, I don't know. The content just felt like it was out of order. Something seemed off. If it was if it was basically, just, on a better flow, this would have been an all right promo. To me, though, it felt like it was just back and forth and back and forth. It was all over the place. The point trying to get across here, it's oh, Sunday you're gonna deal with me. Well, on tonight I'm gonna kick out Xavier Woods. Well, Sunday you're gonna have to deal with steel cage. But I survived the Elimination Chamber. Well, Sunday you're gonna have to deal with the steel cage. I can beat you. Again, it just didn't quite. It was something was off with it. I don't know. So we have that promo, and then we have a match with Dolph Ziggler and Xavier Woods. During the match, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn randomly came out to attack Big E and Kofi Kingston. And then Woods, though, died to take them all out. He gets back inside. But during the commercial break, though, the referee ejects Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Big E, and Xavier Woods from ringside. And basically, okay, I don't get why, New Day I guess, New Day had to go because, Dolph's trying to play the mind games once again, get him out of there. And then Dolph Ziggler eventually gets to win, obviously, with well, first he gets the zigzag, but then he's like, that's not enough. I want to punish Woods more. He has a super kick on him, which I felt like he could have super kicked on him. Maybe it's a little beat down or something like that afterwards, just emphasize that he really is. He's had those couple really good beat downs on Kofi, for their match at Super Showdown with the chair and whatnot. But you think even though he get disqualified, he could again. The goal I felt behind this match was for Dolph to kind of take out Xavier Woods, who played the idea of have Xavier Woods suffer basically for seemingly helping Kofi out like he did at Super Showdown. So I would have liked a better beatdown, but it was whatever. That was forever. We then, of course, get a recap of Seth Rollins tearing through the mechanics to be special guest referee last night, which I forgot to mention last night in my Raw review that he also took out Eric Young. Baron Corbin offered the job to him. He's, I'll think about it. And Seth comes out up and he's like, I swear I didn't take it. I swear I didn't take it. He's like, it's all right, just relax, man. I'm like, wait for it. And pow, he just knocks it into Eric Young. Well, then we see guys like the B Team and Shelton Benjamin in line. Matt Hardy came out of Corbin's office and tells Benjamin, Senior Benjamin, you're next. He's like, it's Mr. Benjamin. They go in and he goes in. So still no word, because I thought it was supposed to be last night. There was no word on, again, who on earth is going to be special guest referee come Sunday in this Universal title match. Once again, it's just a reason for us to want to tune in and see who it is. But even though I'm thinking it's not going to lead to anything, we then see Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross backstage before we go to break. As Alexa Bliss comes out and she introduced for a moment of bliss, and she introduces Nikki Cross as being in her corner on Sunday. Of course, she's like, where's my coffee? Demand her coffee, because obviously they're obsessing over now Alexa Bliss and coffee, because she can fall flat on her butt with white sweatpants on and the coffee, which made no sense. But Bayley came out. She came out drinking a cup of coffee herself. Bliss calls her selfish, and Bailey says she's never said anything bad about Nikki Cross, and then Alexa keeps cutting her off again. Just just denying the fact that Alexa's just using Nikki, but Alexa was just like just all she cared about is just taking coffee. And also she's going, well, you hurt Nikki's hopes of becoming a champion last night, but then Bailey says she's had enough, and if Alexa has a problem, she needs to say it to her face. Alexa was like, she saw right through her from the start at NXT when all the other women made her feel like she didn't belong, and she turned to Bailey, but even she made her feel worthless. The only person that had the time of day for her was Charlotte. Now Bailey comes out with her Bailey Buddy. She's working out Forever 21. She's a liar, not a hugger. Bailey accuses her of making things up and doing the same things you're doing to Nikki to people like Nia Jax, Mickie James, and she's no goddess, just an entitled little princess, doesn't deserve a damn thing. Alexa's like, I'm not entitled, I'm just better. She's always been. She has a natural gift that doesn't imitate her heroes or waits for autographs like Bailey does. But Bailey accuses her of latching on to people one after other, while she did everything while Bailey got her accomplishments she's had herself, even if it's not as many as Alexa Bliss has had. Bliss calls her a placeholder that peaked in NXT, which, in some ways is kind of true, unfortunately. But of course, eventually Bailey had enough, and she then attacks. They brawl until Nikki Cross pulls a hugger off, and they get into a shouting match, and Alexis blindsides her with a forearm. So, again, this storyline is still stupid. Again, I just still don't get it at all with having Alexa Bliss being on one. Alexa Bliss on Raw, and she's challenging for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And two, once again, as I keep saying, with Alexa Bliss being on borrowed time right now, it seems like, again, like why are we relying on her to put on a performance and whatnot? But what I did at least appreciate about this was different from the last time these two feuded is Bailey actually stood up to Alexa and didn't it didn't make Bailey look like she's just some airhead basically who couldn't even take a shot at Alexa. Of course, I still like my favorite spot with this feud though in general was when Bailey slapped the coffee cup out of Alexa's hand. So hopefully this again, this Alexa's not the person for Bailey to drop the title to, but I do wonder if maybe Nikki Cross will turn on Alexa Bliss or not. But I mean, honestly, I don't mind Nikki and Alexa as a tag team, even though once again it's making Nikki Cross not so crazy, and it's more so, well, I'm sorry, so crazy, but Gossip Girl crazy, if you know what I mean. But again, they should just kind of continue where I thought they were going, have them like a babyface women's tag team with Alexa and Nikki, and had them go after the Iconics for the women's tag titles. But of course, that is actually going to change because we're going to have something to say about the women's tag titles here very shortly. Backstage, we see Apollo Crews walk up to Zelina Vega and said, "Where's Andrade?" and tell him that he's waiting. But then Andrade blindsides Crews from behind, leaves him laying. And of course, once again, Chad Gable in the background looking like Steve from Blue's Clues taking notes, which once again, don't get what's up with that. We then have Brian Rowan were on commentary for the next match. Heavy Machinery taking on the B Team, and the B Team basically got squashed as Heavy Machinery win, and it is announced that Sunday we will be getting a SmackDown tag title match, which should be a good match, with Brian Rowan taking on Heavy Machinery. So, okay, good little tag team feud to happen on Sunday. I look forward to seeing what they do with it. After the match, though, after Heavy Machinery were all the wing. Again, I'm sounding like Kripke. Seth Rollins runs in with a steel chair and starts whooping out the B Team because they were backstage. They were backstage in line for candidates to do things to not do things to be the special guest referee this Sunday and signing with Baron Corbin. Of course, other people probably could have took a chair with it, but again, kind of made sense for Rollins, which I kind of get that one, but. This is, of course, where I felt this show went downhill. Owens and Zayn go outside, wait for Shane McMahon to arrive. They complain about Rollins running around with chairs and worried for her own safety. Shane suggests they take safety into their own hands, and he books them in a 2 out of 3 falls match against Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston in our main event tonight. why? Like, why are we having a 2 out of 3 falls match? We had a random ass one in that 6-man tag match last night. I don't know why all of a sudden Vince is obsessed with random 2 out of 3 falls matches that mean absolutely nothing. Of course, that was the only dumb stipulation for a tag team match tonight. But Shane's like, go. I have things to take care of. Well, before we get that, Aleister Black once again is backstage complaining about how no one wants to pick a fight with him and whatnot. All of the stuff he was saying, I was wondering if he was starting to tease a feud with Randy Orton, which honestly, I would actually like to see the Viper versus Aleister Black. I think that's definitely one of my dream feuds I predicted for this year. Even though if it was gonna be like a WrestleMania feud this year or something, that probably would have worked. But no, I definitely think if that's what they're gonna start teasing with him saying he hears the voices, I'm like you can probably tease a feud with him and Randy Orton, which I think would be pretty good for that to happen. Although once again, Randy Orton did defeat Triple H. I'm pretty sure Randy Orton might want something a little bit bigger. Aleister Black should be a big star. I'm sure Orton now wants to go after Kofi, which I'm surprised they didn't do that Stomping Grounds this year. This time instead they're giving him and Ziggler again. But okay. We then have Shane McMahon come out with Elias and Drew McIntyre, saying how last night him and Roman had an incident, but he's not here to talk about that himself. To talk about Drew McIntyre, who's going to whoop Roman's ass at Stomping Grounds. But McIntyre says he prays that Roman is listening because he's doing him a favor. Shane wanted him to end the Big Dog's career, but he's better than that. And on Sunday, he doesn't want Roman to have any excuses. Out came The Miz, who starts playing stupid slow-mo footage of Shane getting his ass whooped, basically, which once again, I'm like, what? Why are we doing this? Like, I felt, honestly, the whole Reigns and McIntyre situation had its, go-home segment last night with when Roman beat them down. So once again, you cannot, overexpose people like, Shane, Roman, Drew. Was like, you're giving them way too much TV time. That's like this, they're doing the same shit on both shows. And I get this was kind of trying to, get, the fuel started again with Miz and Shane. But my thing was you could have waited another week. I don't really see him doing anything at Stomping Grounds. Well, besides maybe, Miz taking out Shane to help Roman beat McIntyre again. Once again, the point of this match happening again is points because Roman's already beat McIntyre in tag matches and, in a singles match at WrestleMania. But he did say that Miz did call out Shane on his daddy issues, saying he's going to do a very special Miz TV after Roman beats Drew. But he says how Miz came from dirt and came from a potato. Of course, they talk about his father with his baked potato face. But the Miz says that when Shane came back, he made SmackDown the land of opportunity. But now all of both shows are about him, and we're all sick of it. Which, no offense, I love you, Shane, but it's true. You're getting way too much TV time right now than what you should be for sure. You shouldn't be, oversaturating both shows. But then Shane randomly makes a tag match with Elias and McIntyre taking on Miz and a partner of his choosing. And, of course, R-Truth 24/7 champion was wandering around ringside at the time. So Miz picks R-Truth at the last second because Shane was tying him. So he reunites Awesome Truth. But it's a tag team elimination match. Meaning your opponent wins after you basically have to get – it's basically 2 out of 3 falls. It was basically another 2 out of 3 falls match because the goal of the match was to eliminate both members of the other team. And that's what happened. Just except for Drew McIntyre to, hit 2 more Claymore kicks. Even though, once again, my question was, and Goldberg asked this question at during his Hall of Fame speech, where's Roman? Roman came out standing last night. Why wasn't he there? Why was Roman Reigns not on the show he's actually on? I don't know. But before that match, also, we had a segment backstage where apparently the Iconics first, were checking out the Authors of Pain, and then they see Paige and the Kabuki Warriors, who won a title shot. And then Paige said she asked and received a match in Tokyo next week or something like that. But it's a non-title match. If the Kabuki Warriors win, they'll get a future women's tag team championship opportunity. And I hate when friggin' one, they say, if you want an opportunity, all you do is ask. Because once that opportunity is supposed to be earned, and two, I am sick and tired of these opportunities being earned by beating the actual champions. If champions are losing non-title matches, they shouldn't even be champion. They shouldn't. But that's going to happen. They're going to beat them, the Iconics, then they're going to have another match against them, probably at SummerSlam, and beat the Iconics then. And then, once again, because these women's tag titles mean nothing. People, you're getting injured, or they're splitting up tag teams, or they're teasing breakups, as I keep saying. This is pointless. I do not care. So again, and then again, the elimination match I thought was stupid. And then we see Ember Moon backstage trying to find Fire and Desire because they broke her Nintendo Switch or Nintendo DSi or Nintendo Switch, whatever heck it was. And she finds Mandy and Sonya eating donuts, and they brawl. Once again, we're having a feud now over the fact that, hey, you broke my DSi. Hey, I saw a fight happen at school when I was in 7th grade with someone who accused someone of breaking their Game Boy, and he owed him $300. So this is just the stupidest storyline to yet. We have that, and then we get another showing of the Firefly Funhouse of what happened last night, which is good. And then we have R-Truth walk through the parking lot, who sees Carmella. But then as he goes to get into his car, a referee comes out. And then he's like, wait a minute, you're a referee and an Uber driver, he'll say, because he knows that if someone's nearby, they can pin him for the title. Well, then Carmella comes up. But then Truth's like, geez, you shrunk Mella. But then there's a wig taken off, and underneath the wig was Drake Maverick. And like everybody who wins a 24/7 title, all he had to do was shove him into the car and roll up, because the 24/7 title only has to be won by a roll up, and everyone can get rolled up very easily. Well, even though Drake Maverick put his feet on the car, once again, heel on these shows, babyface GM on 205 Live. Yeah, Drake Maverick finally got the championship. He's been trying to do so, but once again, this 24/7 title is just so stupid, because only low card guys can win, apparently, and it's just so stupid. So Maverick wins that title, and then he gets in the car and drives off with the championship. Then we have 2 out of 3 falls main events: Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston taking on Owens and Zayn. Which, again, it was cool seeing Seth Rollins on SmackDown for the first time in God knows how long when. But they get the first fall meet with the Trouble in Paradise on Sami Zayn, and then they easily stomp Owens, and they win this match. Why is it 2 out of 3 falls? I don't know. Once again, recap show. That's all SmackDown Live is now. That's why, for grades, there's 11, which also we've seen Paul Heyman backstage apparently, so I still know they're teasing Brock Lesnar to be the specialist referee on Sunday. But what grade just SmackDown Live? There's 11 votes. Nobody said A, 18% said B, 36% said C, and 46% said D or lower, which shows you what Worsley, Raw, SmackDown Live. 9 votes, 67% say Raw, 33% SmackDown Live. Give SmackDown Live a C-. And honestly, I do agree that Raw was the better show this week, and I can't believe I'm saying that for the first time. Let me see here. Let me see here. We know it's WCW 2000. Roman is probably going to take from Brock, which I'm afraid of. Ziggler's a wild card. I have no clue what brand Ziggler's on. I wouldn't say Kofi's a worst. I like Kofi as champion. We want Backlash. We want for sure. Alexa's not winning on Sunday. He thinks Bayley is born champion. I disagree, but it's okay. We all know the wild card rule is stupid. Seth is like Batman. Randy should went to Raw. Where's Charlotte tonight? I don't know, because the thing was, I heard that apparently Charlotte and Andrade missed last week because Andrade's mother passed away, and they were there for the funeral. So I guess since there was nothing for Charlotte, nothing for Charlotte for once. I guess Rich wasn't there tonight. They should keep Roman on Raw. Honestly, he's on Raw more than SmackDown anymore, so why not? He doesn't like the Firefly Funhouse. I love the Firefly Funhouse.
So the card, he gave SmackDown a D+. Give it a C-. Raw was a better show, guys. That's all I gotta say for this recap show. What are your thoughts on SmackDown Live? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video. Start contact my channel. Follow me on Twitter, MailBrian83. And make sure also check my WrestleMania Experience documentary as well. Found in the description box down below. I'm going to do 205 Live, probably about an hour, hour and a half. And I'm also going to do the next part of my Harry Potter Let's Play. So stay tuned for all that to come, guys. And with that, I'm checking out. See you guys soon. This stuff sucks. Peace out, everybody.